On our home page, we have an area at the bottom where we're going to display our products, where we see the text products. If we go into our home component in Pages, if we scroll down, we can see where that products text is. That's something that we're going to replace with a component in our components folder called product list. So this is where we're going to display all of our products that we get from our Node API. So we can import product list. And when we save that, we see the text product list. If we go into product list, and you can do that by hitting Command or Control and then clicking on it to jump right to the component, we can see our product list component here, and underneath I have commented out the template for our product item, what each one of our individual products are going to look like in this list. But first we need to get the data. So where are we going to get the data from? Well, naturally we're going to get it from our Node API. They're all going to be sent down from our server once we make a request from our React client. So if we go into our routes folder, our routes file here within server, this is where we're going to be creating all of our endpoints for our Node API. And to see where we're using this router from the getRoutes function, all of these routes are going to be prefixed with API. So to make our first endpoint, when we go to routes.js, we can take our created router, which I've already created for you here, and that's what this getRoutes function is doing. It's returning the router and therefore all the endpoints that we create. We can create an endpoint to receive a request by using router and then the appropriate HTTP method. So here we're going to be making a GET request to our endpoint, which we can name as just /products, naturally to get all of our product data. And all of our product data is going to come from this products.json file. So we can simply require that up at the top. We can say const products and require /products.json. And then to handle this request, we'll add a callback function that receives request and response data, meaning we get any data with the request that's made to this endpoint on this REQ or request object, and res or response is what we use to respond back with something, to respond back with logically our product data back to our client. So to do that, to send this JSON data back as JSON data to our client, we can simply say res.status is 200, and that's a code that means that this was successful, .json, and then within an object we can include the property products, which will include this array of products. Now we can save this and test this out to make sure our API is working just by going to localhost 3001/API/products, and we should see this big dump of JSON objects.